Yo, fellow managers, welcome to another episode of Rffp. This is game week 4. We already done with game week 3, and remember the highest scoring player was Jamie Vardy with 17 points. This week I've decided to look at the differentials. We've been having problems with pricing, and it's been very hard for people to manage their teams. So I decided to take my time and look at cheap players, cheap options who have been performing since game week 1. And to start with the goalkeepers, there is this Arsenal goalkeeper who recently went to Aston Villa in the name of Martinez. Martinez has kept 2 clean sheets. That is more than any other goalkeeper in the EPL. Remember, he saved the first penalty in game week 1, and he also kept a clean sheet in game week 2. We also have McCarthy from Southampton. He has a very high chance of keeping a clean sheet. The Everton goalkeeper at home against Brighton, they have a higher possibility of keeping a clean sheet. And then we look at the defense. So the defense, we have James from Chelsea. Chelsea is facing Crystal Palace at the weekend. James is priced at 5.1 M, and I think he's a very good buy for the defense. And then we have Castange. Castange has been performing really well since game week 1, and I think it's good to keep him until at the later end of the season. And then we have Gabriel from Arsenal. Remember, he didn't start during the weekend, and I fancy he may start this one, and he has a high chance of keeping a clean sheet and even scoring. He's very good in the air. And then we have Jamal Lascelles from Newcastle, rated at 4.5. That is a very fair price, considering he is a sure starter, and he is also good in the air, and he may be able to keep a clean sheet. And then we have lastly promising boy Lamptey. Lamptey has risen to the occasion of the Premier League. He came from Chelsea and signed for Brighton, and he's the one of the promising fullbacks. He's very good going forward. Remember, at the weekend versus Manchester United, in that entertaining match, he gave an assist, an indirect assist. Remember, a penalty is considered an assist. And then we're gonna look at the midfield, where we have Pereira. Pereira is a West Brom talent. He had 2 assists during the weekend when they surprised Chelsea in the 3-3 draw. And then we have Glitch. Glitch, the Leeds boy. Leeds is facing Man City at home. It's a very tough match for Leeds, but considering Man City conceded 2 penalties, conceded 3 penalties against Leicester at home, they may concede another penalty, and Glitch is the one who takes penalties for Leeds, so he may be a good option. I remember this season, players who take penalties can be an asset. We've had more penalties at the beginning of the season than any other season. And then we have Ross Barkley. Ross Barkley has recently signed for Aston Villa on loan from Chelsea, and I fancy he may be one of their main man alongside one of the most promising talent in Aston Villa in the name of Grealish. So I fancy Ross Barkley can be a good buy. And then we have Rodriguez. Rodriguez, the Evertonian, has created more chances than any other player since the start of the season. He is settling in well at Everton, and I think he'll continue with his form. At 7.7 M, he is a really good buy, considering we have players like Rashford, Son, who are priced higher than him. And then we have Mason Mount. Mount was one of the top performing players versus West Brom. He scored, he gave an assist at 6.9 Mount can be a very good differential. And then we have Madison. Madison came back from injury. He played against Man City in the last few minutes, and he scored a sensation, one of the contenders of the goal of the season, a beauty, a curling beauty. So he also gave an assist. Remember the last penalty scored by Tielemans was a foul on Madison, and I think he will start during the weekend and he may continue with his form. And then we have Podence, the Wolves youngster. He's rated midfielder, and we know very well he plays a forward role alongside Jimenez. He slightly has a knock, but if he's fit, then he can be a very good buy at 5.6 M. And then we have Hendrick. Hendrick is a midfielder from Newcastle at 5.0. He's been very good, and I think he may continue with that form. And then we have Foden at 6.6 M. Foden has been rated midfielder, considering Man City has only 13 fit players according to Pep Guardiola, and without any senior team striker fit in the name of Gabriel Jesus and Kun Aguero all injured, I think it's either Sterling or Foden or Mahrez to play up front, and it can really help Foden in scoring and creating chances. So Foden can be a very good pick. Also, we have a returning McGinn for Aston Villa. During the weekend, he gave 2 assists. Remember against Sheffield, he was so good going forward, and I think rating him with the past season, I used to have McGinn in my team. I really liked him. He used to perform, and I think alongside Ross Barkley and Grealish, McGinn can continue with his fine form. So at 5.5, very fair price. And then lastly, we have the Tottenham guy, Lucas Moura. Son got an injury. Bale is not yet fit, and I think Mourinho will be giving Moura a start alongside Hurricane and one of Eric Lamela or Begwin. So I think Moura at 6.9 M can be a very good differential, and all these players can help you save some millions for other better players. Then we're gonna quickly look at the forwards, where we have Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Who else to start with? Calvert-Lewin is 4. Lewin started at 7.0. I think he is the most recent players in terms of FPL. He's risen with 0.4 M. And then we have Bamford, a very good differential for a long term. And then we have MAUPAY. MAUPAY, he's the penalty taker of Brighton. He scored a very wonderful penalty, a Panenka against David De Gea during the weekend. And at 6.5 M, he can be a very good buy and a bargain. And also we have Lacazette from Arsenal. Remember I told you Lacazette at home, he's a deadly finisher at home. He has luck at Emirates, and Arsenal is at home against Sheffield United, and Lacazette at 8.5 M, I think he may be getting a goal also. And then we also have Callum Wilson at 6.4. He's also on the penalty duties for Newcastle, and he scored in the weekend, and penalty, remember, against Tottenham in the dying minutes. A weekend full of controversies and fun, and I think Wilson will be also a very good option, considering he is also going to play at home against Burnley. And then we have another promising talent in the name of Che Adams. Che Adams from Southampton. He has been starting alongside Danny Ings in the Southampton striking department, and I think he can be a very good bargain buy. Uh, that's all for game week 4. Consider the cheap options I talked about. We have Mitchell, we have Justin, the very cheap options that we can look into, who can give you points and make you go ahead of your mini leagues. That's all. Enjoy your weekend. All the best in your FPL. And until next time, Hakuna Matata. Love you guys.